In order to become your best self, your dream self, the best version of yourself, you're going to have to kill your old self, right? I had to come to terms with this, a couple years back. I had all these inner frustrations. I had explosive anger. I had addiction issues, substance abuse problems, drinking, everything that goes along with that. I was partying a lot, hanging out with the wrong crowd, and on the inside, I was eating myself up. I was tearing myself apart. On the inside, just constantly, the constant beating up of myself, the constant putting down of myself, the negative self-talk, the terrible way of speaking to myself, and just always putting myself down. And I always wondered why that was. And that eventually led to extreme anxiety. I'm talking about anxiety to the point where my skin would break out in hives. I had like scabs on my face, and people would always be like, "What's on your face?" I'd be so embarrassed about it. It was hives, right? And I didn't know how to explain that to people. It would make me even more anxious to have to explain why I was so anxious. Because when you're anxious, you can't explain to other people why you're anxious. It just makes you even more, it just sparks up even more anxiety, right? I had crippling depression. I could not get out of bed. 4 or 5 years back, I was sleeping until like 4 or 5 p.m. Literally sleeping all day long because I did not want to wake up and face the day. I didn't know how to face the day. I didn't know what to do. Look, the reason why you beat yourself up, right? If you're like me, if you hold yourself to an extremely high standard and you continue to self-sabotage over and over and over again, let me tell you, there's a way out. I promise you there's a way out. It's your higher consciousness is always going to hold you to that standard. It always has that vision in mind of what you are supposed to be, what your true purpose is. And until you figure out what that true purpose is through self-development, personal growth, forced growth, getting out of your comfort zone, until you figure out that true purpose, you're going to be constantly beating yourself up. The constant negative self-talk, the constant self-sabotage, the substance abuse, if you have those issues. Maybe it's food for you. Maybe you have an eating disorder. Eating disorders are extremely common, and people don't even realize that. They get swept under the rug a lot because nobody wants these things to come to the surface. Maybe it's extreme anxiety for you. Maybe it's depression. Kick yourself in the ass and start growing. Get out of your comfort zone and find your true purpose so that you can destroy these things. These things are going to plague you until the day that you die, unless you start to wake up and smell the coffee. It's time to grow. It's time to get out of your comfort zone. It's time to find your true purpose so you could finally feel comfortable in your own skin.